Hi friends, this is Brenda, Sugar-Free Mom. Today we're continuing our series on how to become a food label expert, and our topic is Greek yogurt by popular request. There may be a time where we discuss regular yogurts, but for right now I think the most requested info is all about Greek yogurts, and that's the one I use. Just to tell you a little bit, I'm lactose intolerant, so I grew up having yogurt. In fact, my Italian dad made yogurt from scratch. But all my life, I loved it, and I've always loved dairy products, but I never realized I had an issue with it or a problem. But I was constantly congested and always had trouble after having yogurt, stomach aches and whatnot, or milk, any kind of dairy products, except sometimes cheese I can do fine with. Until I had my second child, and after nursing her and having her with many issues in colic and upset, I went dairy-free by help from a lactation consultant, and that was the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. I about a month into it, and I was feeling great. I wasn't congested anymore, and as soon as I brought any dairy products back, my daughter would have trouble because I was nursing, and I would feel sick. So I realized that I finally, I think at the age of 30, I realized she was, because of my daughter, thankfully, I was able to learn that I had a lactose problem. But I took years before I even attempted to try Greek yogurt. And lo and behold, I was excited to one day try it and not be sick from it. And I don't know why there is such a difference between regular yogurt and Greek yogurt for me in my body, and some people can't tolerate it at all. But for me, I can have Greek yogurt. And there's many types of yogurts, Greek yogurts out there. Chobani, Faye, Okos, I think it is. I have it all on my phone, and I took pictures. I was at Target yesterday, and I went through some of the yogurts. Now, my main concern and what I'm looking for is the sugar in the product. So I'm not worried about, the calories. I'm not really worried about the milk in it, but I am concerned about the sugar when I look for ingredients. So the first one I did look at was at the Faye. See it? There it is. And it's pronounced Faye, I believe. And the ingredients are, the first one is grade A pasteurized skimmed milk, live active yogurt cultures, blah, 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 acidophilus, and that's it. Now, there are sugars in milk, so when you look at the back, even though there's 0 fat and the ingredients aren't listed as sugar, I mean, there's still natural sugars in milk, so there's 9 grams of sugar. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about added sugars, for me personally. So this would be a good choice that I would use. I would use the Faye, and I would add my own ingredients. I could add honey for the kids. I could add fruit for them in it. I could add the stevia if I want some flavor to it. My most favorite that I buy regularly is the Chobani, Greek, plain, no sugar added at all. And boy, the ingredients listed in my picture are too small for me to read. I think I need to see the eye doctor. But I know as well, this has the same thing, about 9 grams of sugar, but that comes naturally from the milk. But there's no added sugar in it. Now, when you're talking about, here's Okos, and this one was flavored with chocolate. So it's a non-fat yogurt, but again, they're going to be adding organic sugar as the 3rd ingredient. So that's not something, remember the list, we've talked about this, if it's any type of sugar is the 5th ingredient or more, then that's fine in my book. Maybe the 4th ingredient I would do it, but I know that chocolate yogurt would probably cause me to crave it more. Being sugar as the 3rd ingredient as well. And then, of course, there's flavored Chobani in individual packages, which is wonderful. But the 3rd ingredient, or the 2nd, I believe, is evaporated cane juice. Now, it's a form of sugar. It's up to you. You have to decide if that's something that your body can handle. If you've been sugar-free like I have, I know that I can't handle sugars in products. I have to sweeten it myself, and I use stevia as a sweetener. I did find a yogurt sweetened with honey, and it said total 2%. I can't for the life of me pronounce the name. Here it is. It's like a Q, an A, an R. I don't even know what it is. But it has honey in it, strained yogurt with skim milk, but it does say 29 grams of sugar. So if you're diabetic and you're looking at sugars, you have to be careful of that. I'm not diabetic, but I watch the added sugar in the product. As well as Chobani, you know, even the vanilla flavor has evaporated cane juice as a second ingredient. Not something, why get it made with honey when you can just make it yourself? You could just put your own honey in it. You can get your local, get your local honey from a farm stand somewhere and do it that way. That's what I would suggest. A Chobani has the honey as well, and Clover honey is listed as the second ingredient. It's still a type of sweetener. It's still a type of sugar. So my rule of thumb is the fifth ingredient. So I think that if anything, I would you have to personally decide how much you want to get rid of the sugar in your life and how diligent you really need to be. If you have a product and you go and you have that yogurt and then every day you feel like you need one, or that's your treat, that's your dessert, you're craving it, and it has the evaporated cane juice in it, or it's made with honey, and yes, it's healthy, but if you find yourself craving it every day, like your day wouldn't be complete without having one of them, it's calling your name, that's a clue right there that possibly that's something that you may need to stay away from. Try not having it for one day and see how you do. Those are just my tips, and I hope that they encourage you, help you in some way. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment here or on my blog at www.sugarfreemom.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time.